Morning everyone. Found this little image. I thought it was useful because it described what we just had over the last couple of days. And here's the guy just pushing this rock up this steep gradient, and then it's rolled right back this morning. And that's pretty much what the markets did at the end of the Asian session and into the European session. A little, quite a nice little climb, and then a nice decent drop back to the Asian level. So let's put that in context. This is my FTSE daily, which you can see the line short here because I drew it over here, but we just pushed into that over the last couple of days and then got a very nice decent drop. And here's what it looks like on my 30-minute chart. It's not my main anchor chart, but it's useful to show this anyway. This was major resistance from a few last week, so a nice little climb up here. Started shorting at the highs, added once we got the trigger, and then we got the decent push back down to the Asian support. Okay, it's a simple trade, and a trade like that just can make your day. You don't need to sit there and go in and out of these markets. One trade like that and you're looking at a move from about 57, or the high was 57.60 and low was 54. So a nice move. Of course, all the indices pretty much did the same, the Dow, the DAX. So the spreads and the margins are quite good on FTSE now. Got a bit wild on the other markets. So that was a good trade. Right, so where do we go from here? So back to the daily. I think all we do, the highs are still worth selling. The video I did over the weekend about the whole crisis here. This is going to take, I reckon we're looking at least 1 to 3 months to really resolve this and to see any upward shift in the market. So at the moment we've got the main 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're getting a 1, 2, 3 wave correction potentially. So I'm looking for this to still come down to these lows here. Potentially, if we do a 3 wave, then we could be making a lower low. Okay, so yes, there are buying opportunities in certain stocks. Some of the good stocks, if we stick with the UK theme, we've had a decent push up in Lloyds Bank, we've had a decent push up in BT, but I still think this market is not resolved. Throwing $2 trillion at it from the US perspective is a good short-term sticking plaster, which is giving good buying opportunities, but I think this is going to take a lot longer than people think to sort out if you base your assumptions on the Chinese and the Italian experience. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to guess here. I'm not trying to pretend I'm a scientist. Of course I'm not. I don't know where these markets are going to go. Nobody knows where these markets are going to go, but this is the normal pattern that you would expect. I think this is this is not dropped off a cliff for nothing. Let's look at the Dow. So the Dow's come in on my 161 extension, pushed underneath it, hit some monthly support. We've got monthly pivots down there, and in strict sort of line with the FTSE and the DAX and all the other indices, we've hit some resistance and found some early selling in Europe. Okay, so I would expect potentially the same in the US Open, a push higher and potentially a sell later in the day. But I'm taking it one day at a time at the moment, and I'll update you as the week unfolds. Thanks very much, and see you soon.